fingers, mushrooms, plants, fruit, bones. These are all the things that can be found in Helsinki. There's many more things to do in the Finnish capital city as well, but stick around and let me tell you about my recent visit. So first we visited the Sinebrychoff Art Museum. In the museum there's the ground floor and then there's the first floor. On the ground floor there's a art exhibit which requires a ticket or a museum card. And then on the first floor it's free entry, and that's home of Paul and Fanny Sinebrychoff. Sinebrychoff was born in Helsinki in 1859 and then he died in 1917 when he was 58 years old. He ran the Sinebrychoff brewery from 1886 until his death. And he was also an art enthusiast who dedicated a big portion of his life to collecting foreign art, and he had the intention of donating his collection to what he described as the nation. When he died, he left behind the biggest private art collection in the Nordic countries. Fanny then donated it in its entirety to the Finnish state. I didn't get a chance to see the art exhibit on the ground floor because it was closed, but I would recommend visiting the home because there's something to keep your interest everywhere you look just because it's so full. And best part is it's totally free. The next we went to visit the University Botanic Gardens. That's called the Kaisaniemi Gardens. When we arrived there was an unsuspected little surprise. It was a table full of mushrooms. This was the first time that I've ever seen old Finnish women getting a little bit rowdy. All the mushrooms that were on display on the table were native to Finland, and there were some experts behind the table who were in charge of it, and they were giving people information such as which ones can be picked, which ones can be eaten, and how you can prepare them. The collection was quite impressive and all of it was free as well, which was good. After we spent some time looking at the mushrooms, we entered the glass house then, and recently I got the museum card, so entry for me was free. But if you don't have a museum card, the adult price is €12 and children is €6. So each different section of the glass house was based on a different biome, and they all had different plants in them. The setting's quite peaceful there, and there was people reading books and just relaxing on the benches. So you start off in the palm house, which is very impressive, and it's got the big plants such as the palm trees. And then we move through to the rainforest room, which has plants from the African rainforest. And then next onto the African violet room. And then the dry forest room. And then onto the desert. And next after that was the South African room. And then the island room. Then the water lily room. And finally the Mediterranean room. After we left the glass house, there's also an area outside the gardens which you can walk around, and it's got grapes and outdoor plants and then a little bit of a natural forest section. Overnight we stayed in the St. George Spa Hotel. It was super nice, and I think it might have been one of the most relaxing places that I've ever stayed. The highlights for me were the bathroom, the fresh fruit that was left in the room for us. The spa was really nice. It had a steam room, a sauna, a swimming pool, and then a relaxing area. And then the breakfast was amazing, and there was a big piece of art on the wall that was really impressive as well. So the next day after we had the spa hotel, we headed to Luomus, which is the Museum of Natural Sciences. I used my museum card again for free entry, and if you don't have card, adult entry is €18 and children is €8. There's also quite a big list of free entry, so you can check on their website to see if anyone in your group's eligible for free entry. There's free locker storage as well, and you can fit a backpack with a laptop inside of it. So most recently they've added the famous walrus that made Finnish news, and the death of this walrus sparked quite a controversy because it was quite a big talking point for a while. The museum's got 3 floors and they're all filled with different types of animals and skeletons. I really enjoyed being there. The atmosphere was amazing that they've created, and I felt like a kid again, learning all new different things and then seeing all the different exhibits. And the scenery extended beyond the glass. There were props and animals all around, and it became a fun little game try to find all the sneaky animals. The variety and realism of the animals and the displays were quite amazing, and I don't really know how you could improve on the things that they've made there. It's also a bit of a more serious section about climate change and the impacts of climate change in there. And then there's a huge giraffe that can be seen in the centre of the spiral staircase, and you can look at it as you're walking up the stairs. I enjoyed the fish section because not too long ago I went fishing and I could see all the fish that I caught on display, but the ones that I caught, I ate them instead. There's also quite an interesting section about birds and the tags that they put around their ankles, and you can try on what it would feel like if you've got one of the tags on. Overall, the exhibitions were very well made, and there's even a plaque talking about the creators and everyone that made it. So some of my highlights from the weekend. So we've got a picture here of Rip Baby Jesus. It's a little baby, but he's got big muscles. This big mushroom. Me. And then me fighting a kangaroo. And then this two-headed cow. So this is a cow that was born with two heads in Finland, and it scared everyone.